This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness.
Imagine a treatment that can strengthen your mind. The ExoMind treatment helps with anxiety, depression, and brain fog, and so much more. Welcome to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. And today I'm going to learn about their new machine and how it does so much cool stuff to the brain, and I'm going to give it a try. Let's get started. Joining me now is Sean Goddard, who is the owner of Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Hey, Sean.
Hey.
Good to be back in your facility.
So glad to have you guys back.
Yes. Okay, so I'm excited because we're going to be exploring some new machines that you have, and they're going to treat the body, mind, and wellness in a whole new way.
Absolutely.
So what made you want to bring this new line of product?
Yeah, we've been Viking Psychiatry for a while, right? And we've really expanded outside of that in the way that we treat. We don't just look at the brain and just at medications. We want to look at the entire individual. And even when people kind of look at the entire individual in psychiatry, they still just focus on the mind. And there's so much more that's involved with our wellness and how we feel, even whether we're depressed, we're happy, or even just everyday life. Sexual health, the way we look, the way we feel, this all ties into our wellness. And so the idea is that we're expanding beyond just the brain and looking at the whole person.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do is explore each of these pieces of equipment over the next couple of months. And you guys know I'm going to be the guinea pig and give it a try and let you know truly how I feel about the treatment. And so this first machine here is new, ExoMind. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, we're super excited about ExoMind. We've been offering TMS for a while, Brainsway Deep TMS, but this is a treatment option that's available for the everyday person, right? So if you're suffering from mental exhaustion, brain fatigue, just feeling like your brain isn't operating the way that it's supposed to anymore.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Things aren't connecting. Our brain won't shut off, right? And help us go to sleep. This is a treatment option that's able and designed to affect the brain and affect the brain quickly, and also have it be a very comfortable process. Instead of having to come over an extended period of time of 9 weeks, we have simplified this machine. It enables us to treat somebody as little as twice a week for 3 weeks and make a significant impact on the way that you feel.
Interesting. Okay, so I have to know, I know that you have this little arm here and that there's placement on the head. How does the machine work?
Yeah, so we're inducing, this offers what's called triphasic, an approach on electromagnetic pathways into the brain. And so when we're sending those pulses in, what we're doing is we're creating new connections in the brain, new growth. And that's important. So think kind of like miracle grow for the brain or physical therapy for the brain, but without taking a pill.
Okay, and so what areas does it treat? Like what types of issues can people really come in and see results from this machine?
It's really exciting because we have a lot of opportunities that are available now and that are expanding in the future with FDA approval. So initially think mental exhaustion, concentration, those types of things. We now have approval for major depressive disorder. We also have approval for treating perimenopausal symptoms, and we're expanding. We're seeing anxiety, depression in adolescents, and there's some other ones that I can't mention yet, but those FDA approvals are pending over the next 3 to 12 months. And so we're going to see even more treatment options that are available to help people in a wide variety. We're really excited because, for example, this could be used in individuals that are suffering with like postpartum depression. And there aren't a lot of options in that area. So I myself have already undergone a set of treatment with the ExoMind because, you know, I'm 48, I can't even remember how old I am half the time, right? 48 years old. And we know that the brain begins to slow down a little bit, and we could always feel a little bit more on our game. And so I underwent the ExoMind treatment, and what I saw immediately was a difference in my cognition and even my morning pep. You know, normally
Okay.
I have to have my cup of coffee and then I'm a morning guy.
Right.
But I was already seeing before I got my cup of coffee, my wife actually asked me, she's like, is something wrong with you this morning? I'm like, what do you mean? She's
look
like,
too
you're
happy.
yeah, you're already peppy and you haven't drunk your cup of coffee. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. It's the ExoMind, right?
Yes.
So we can begin to see those changes right away and making an impact for individuals.
Okay, and you say this treatment is twice a week for 3 weeks, and that's when people can see changes. And then do they continue? Do you evaluate if they need to continue, or does treatment stop there?
Yeah, it really varies off of the individual. You know, nationally, when they look at this, there are individuals that come in, do the base treatment, and they're good for a while. But it's kind of like when you go to the gym, right, and you kind of get in shape or lose some weight, you don't stop going to the gym, right? You keep going to help maintain that. Maybe you don't have to work as hard and aggressively as you did at the beginning, but you want to maintain that. And so we can see that benefit when it comes to this treatment, that individuals that continue to come either like once a month or 2 months or 3 months, depending on what we're dealing with, that we're able to maintain that so that we're not sliding backwards again.
All right, well, I'm ready to give it a try and see how it all works. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, I am here about to try out the ExoMind treatment at Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Okay, Sean, walk me through it.
Yeah, so what I'm going to have you do is actually lay down and rest your head in this little pillow here.
Okay, like that.
We just, and we want to make sure you're comfortable and we have you all lined up. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to position the machine on you so you don't have to do anything right now.
Okay.
So what this does is it's just lining the magnet up so that I can find what's called your motor cortex. What we want to do is then elicit a response there. So I'm lining up so I can do that. And now I'm locking the machine in place. And so to do this, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take your right hand and rest it to your right side, kind of lay it flat. And then I want you to take your middle finger and your thumb and connect them together like this.
Okay.
What I want you to do is I want you to push really hard there for me.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'm just turning the machine on, and that's making that magnet available. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your first pulse at almost nothing, so that way you can kind of just see what it feels like, okay?
Okay.
And so I'm going to go up to 5% and give you a pulse. See, that was a pulse. Nothing to be scared of there, right?
Nope.
And so now I'm just going to increase it a bit more. And when you relax your hand, you kind of want your hand just kind of slightly curled, your fingers there when you relax. Go ahead and relax. Okay, up again. Okay, I don't know if you felt it or you saw it. Your middle finger kind of moved there. Go ahead and squeeze that thumb and middle finger again.
Okay.
And then relax. There we go. Did you feel it?
No.
No? Did you feel it there?
No.
Okay. So your right middle finger and ring finger are actually moving there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down one, and I'm going to do it again. And one more time. And we don't have movement, so I'm going to go up one. And we've just found your motor threshold, and you're at 70% there.
Okay.
And so now what we're doing is we're able to actually transition to the treatment position. And so to do that, I just have to unlock this machine. And what we're doing is we're shifting up about 2.5 centimeters so that we're affecting that left prefrontal cortex in this situation. And I'm just going to lock that arm into place there. And this gives us our treatment position and where we're going to treat you from. Okay?
Interesting.
And this is our patient comfort button. I'm going to put this in your left hand. And what you'll see is there's a little dot there. And so the nice thing about this is at any point, if you feel like you want to stop, you need to stop for whatever reason, you're able to press that button.
Okay.
So it gives you complete control. And you have that. And what it wants me to do is have you test pressing that so it shows me you know how to press it. There we go. And now it's ready to begin. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pulses in. I'm going to start turning it up. And you hear that, it's nice and soft. And so we're sending those pulses in right now, starting that process to make a difference. And that's that triphasic magnet that makes it so calming. And so now what we're doing is we're ready to actually set the mood for the treatment. And so typically what I do is I turn off the lights.
And light a candle.
You'd be surprised. We get bubbles going, we get the nebula light going on the ceiling. Some people choose to cover their eyes. We have blankets, we have a weighted penguin, and most people just sit back and relax. And this is a 28-minute treatment in this case.
Smooth sailing.
So we're going to let you do the treatment, and we'll check back in when the treatment's all done.
Okay. And just like that, the treatment is done. I must say it was very relaxing. There was no discomfort, and I'm excited to see the result as I continue to do the treatment. I'm hoping to experience less fatigue in my life, to be more alert. And you all know that I suffer from insomnia, so I'm hoping that this treatment will help me there and with any brain fog and all of that good stuff. So the treatment will continue. I'll do it twice a week for 3 weeks, and then I'll get back with Sean to talk about the results so you can follow this journey through mental health matters with Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. And if you are interested in treatment for yourself, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness.